Hey guys, what's up? Today we have part one of two statues that I will be unboxing to represent this fight right here between Akaza and Rengoku. I am very excited about these. These were one of the first statues that I pre-ordered once I got into the statue game, and I've been waiting for them for over a year. So they're finally here. I have the first one here. We're gonna start off small. This is the smaller box, and then we're gonna move into the big, humongous box that is holding Rengoku. Really looking forward to that, but I'm a little bit worried too because I haven't had the greatest luck when it comes to Fantasy Studios. The first statue that I ordered from them was Tanjiro, another one that I was really looking forward to, but unfortunately he did come broken. At this point, I've sent an email to Favor GK, which is the reseller where I bought my statue. They've responded, they contacted the manufacturer, and I'm currently waiting on a response on whether or not I'm going to get a new base, since the base was the part that came damaged. There was a dragon effect and it came broken into about 3 or 4 pieces. And yeah, I'm a little worried because the top of the box said, make sure to record you unboxing this box. And for some reason that I missed it, and that unboxing video that I recorded, I didn't record me actually taking that piece out of the box. So for the rest of these, I'm going to record the whole thing and show you guys what's inside of each of these boxes. If there's any breaks, it'll all be recorded. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into this box for Akaza.
All right, so here's the box, here's the side, and the back's pretty much the same as the front. All right, guys, so I did not want to risk it this time, so I am recording non-stop, showing every single step from when I remove the styrofoam out of the box. So yeah, this is gonna take a while, but I just wanted to be safe rather than sorry. I did take it out upside down, so I had to flip it around, and then I took off the straps. And moment of truth. And yeah, so I was checking all the pieces right here, but everything looked good, at least on this first layer. Didn't notice any breaks, and packaging was actually very good for Fantasy Studios. So no problems here on the first layer. Moving on to the second layer, I pretty much noticed the same thing. No issues here as well. But this Ring Akaza is a smaller statue, a smaller box, and it doesn't have any huge resin effects. So this one wasn't as susceptible to breaks as much as Tanjiro was. But Rengoku does have some huge resin pieces. So that one I will need to be careful with. And we will check him out in part 2 of this statue unboxing. But everything looks good, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the assembly.
Musicality.
Alright guys, so not gonna lie, there was quite a bit of issues with this one. You guys can see it off the bat just by looking at the statue, but just feeding it and the way that the assembly worked out, it felt very, I guess it just didn't feel as premium as some of my other statues that I've unboxed and assembled on the channel. Because yeah, all of these blue resin pieces that you guys see here, they all feel like very cheap plastic, they almost even feel like PVC. They don't feel like resin, which was very strange. And some of these, you do have some gaps here, like this part, if you guys saw during the assembly, didn't attach fully into the base. There's a huge gap there, but thank God this piece right here does cover that, so you can't see it once it's fully assembled. And like I said, assembled, I think this piece looks good. It would look good on display, but just feels very cheap when you're putting it together and actually feeling these parts. So let's go ahead and go into the review. I am going to change it up. I think I'm going to, instead of going from a 1 to 10 scale, I'm going to go from a 1 to 5 scale. I think that's a little bit easier for me to gauge how I really do think about these pieces, because I've noticed that I give a lot of my pieces like 7s and 8s out of 10s, but I want to stop giving those higher scores and just go from a 1 to 5 scale and give you guys a better idea of how I feel about these pieces. So we're gonna start off with the base, and the base, like the rocks itself, they look and feel nice. That I actually had no issues with the rocks themselves. It's mainly just with all of the pieces that go attached to the base. They don't attach very well. Some pieces have magnets, others don't, and they're very wobbly, as you guys can see right here. I feel like even just trying to move this around the room, like if you're trying to change displays and stuff like that, some of these pieces might fall off just while moving them around the room. So I don't really like it when that happens, because I do move my statues quite a bit. So I have to be very careful with this one, because things could fall off and possibly break. So yeah, for the base, I'm gonna have to go with a 2 out of 5. Now going into the body sculpt, I'm gonna talk both about this extra piece and the main piece. And honestly, the standout here really is this extra piece. I think they did a much better job with this. Actually did with the main statue. Like even the face and the eyes and the way that he's crying, even though it is sort of like, I guess, paint, I don't know if it's painted or it's like vinyl. Yeah, it seems like it's not painted. It's actually just a sticker that they put on there, but it looks good. And I also love how it's half Akaza and in his demon form, and then half of him in his human form. As you guys saw, when you put him, like, just show his profiles, if you just look at one side of him, it really does look like the whole thing is his human form, and same thing on the other side, it looks like the whole thing would be his demon form, although I guess this hand kind of gives it away. But yeah, I really like this piece. I think it's really nice, and I think it's going to pair very nicely with the extra that we get from Rengoku, which we'll show you guys that in part 2 of this unboxing. But so yeah, I would probably give this right here like a 4.5 out of 10. But the main statue, I just think it's all right. It's nothing great. I just think it's okay. It looks good, it does the job, but it's nothing spectacular. I'd say it's average, just 2.5 out of 10. Although I will say those beads, oh man, I'm not a big fan of these beads. They kind of, it's another aspect of the statue that just kind of makes it feel a little bit cheaper. I just feel like they were cutting corners instead of doing like some resin beads, which I understand resin beads could be a little bit more fragile. These honestly will never break, although you could cut the rope or something that could come apart, but you could easily make one of these again and put it back on the statue if that happens. But I'm just not a fan of those beads, so I'm gonna bring it down just a quarter of a point, 2.25 out of 5 for the body sculpt for this guy. So averaging these two together, I'll put the score right here for the total score of the body sculpt. Now moving on to the head sculpt. Here I'm gonna rate all three, this one, and that one over there. Again, I'd say this one right here is the standout, especially because you have half demon and half human. I think that looks pretty cool on there. Unfortunately, again, I am not prepared, so I can't show you guys what this head looks like with the LEDs, but I have seen pictures of it. I'll try to put some pictures here of some pictures that I've seen on Facebook groups. It looks very cool. I really do like how this head here looks with the LEDs on. This is definitely the best head out of these two. I'm not a big fan of this one over here. The Grim that he has right there, it looks more creepy than it does menacing or like evil, like a demon should look. It looks like he's a creep. I'm not the biggest fan of that one, but overall, I'd probably rate this one, again, a 4.5 out of 10. This guy right here, a 4 out of 10. And then that one over there, a 2 out of 10. So put the average score here for the head sculpt. And finally, just my overall enjoyment of this statue. I don't know, just putting them together, I couldn't help but feel disappointed with Fantasy Studios. Especially because I had been hyped up this whole time. Looking at the production updates, this statue looked pretty good in those photos for the production updates, but again, those photos won't tell you how this actually feels once you have these in hand and assembling it yourself. So yeah, it was kind of a disappointment, so that's gonna knock it down a few points. In the end, I still do think it looks good. Like, I think the concept was good. That's what sold me on the statue. And honestly, this is just a one-parter here. So once we pair this up with Rengoku, that's when I will really tell you guys how I feel about this set as a whole. But as of right now, just Akaza, I would say I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5. I'm being generous there, giving a few extra points for this extra right here. Otherwise, I think it probably would have been a 2.5 out of 10, maybe a 2 out of 10, just because of how disappointed I was. But I'll give it a 3 out of 10. I think it's a good enough statue, just slightly above average. So that's it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Look forward to the second part where we'll be unboxing Rengoku. And like I'm saying, you guys, I'm praying that Rengoku is actually good once I put him together and he doesn't feel as cheap as Akaza did. But regardless, make sure to stick around. I will be doing my first giveaway on my next video. We will be giving away a statue, believe it or not. So look forward to part 2. Share the channel to all of your friends just so they're aware that a giveaway is coming. And don't forget to like and comment on this video as well. So with that, I will see you guys in the next video.
Hero.